like the channel, share the channel. If you ride with the channel, subscribe to the channel. Now let's watch these creepy clips.
This was a tragic incident where a kid who don't have emotional intelligence acted impulsively because he comes from a culture that promotes, propagates violence. Every day, all day, kill, kill, die, nigga, shoot, kill, kill. You can't take this in and you lack training. You lack morals. You have to have a foundation of a value system to listen to this type of shit all day long, and you don't have no emotional intelligence where you've been taught to say, man, when you get angry, think. Yeah. Take a deep breath. So he was anticipating this to happen. That's why he had the knife, and we had this outcome. He didn't want to kill nobody.
I don't think he wanted to kill anybody. He almost kind of manifested it, though, just by his culture, that him around it, having the knife. But well, accidentally.
If it even happened, that's the thing. Our country has lied to us so much, you don't know what's the truth.
I might vomit. A lot of layers going on here. Another addition of you think you're looking at a super cute, super fashionable on-screen couple. But really, it's a 16-year-old Lily and a 26-year-old Paul Walker in Joyride. But we all know that this wouldn't be the only 16-year-old that Paul would be affiliated with. Here he is at 33 years old, going to high school to pick up his 16-year-old girlfriend, Jasmine. It's given me Seinfeld vibes. You could look back at a few of the different films that Lily has done in her earlier teenage career and see some dark connections like Glass House, where once again, gotta put the teenager in a bikini, because that helps the storyline. But Eyes Wide Shut is where my deep dive began. She is 14 years old filming this movie. Seen in, I can't even say it, see-through undergarments. But don't worry, guys, when you read the press on it, they didn't let her read the script out of protection for her. Why do you guys need to put barely teenagers in such little clothing? Like,
see the divide? When it comes to this type of thing, let's say it's just men that do this. Let's not show you the teachers who feel like, I can sleep with your 10-year-old son if I want to.
And once again, Eyes Wide Shut, guys, the only reason I watched this was because people told me it was about a schmexual cult in Hollywood. And this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Not to mention, like, how many pairs of teats can they put in one movie when it doesn't push, again, the storyline anywhere? I wonder why they do that. Do you think it's so that girls like her will normalize this type of behavior? Can I also add, she looks very similar to Lily.
What's that? Oh, a random shipping container showed up on the shore of Jamaica? That's not suspicious at all. What was in it? Oh, a lot of meat? Oh, that's strange. Haven't there been a lot of stories and things in regards to shipping containers? I mean, it's not suspicious at all that a shipping container full of meat would show up on the shore that's also easily accessible and was super easy to open. Now, as we all know, most things aren't free in life, so a container full of meat? Let's probably not eat it, okay? It's probably not a good idea. Is this some sort of a test? I mean, probably. Okay, let's put that back in the ocean. Thanks.
All right, y'all, look. It's not just Jamaica they be doing that shipping container shit. See that? See that train? Old container with a freezer on the back. Let me show you. It's a freezer on the back of that motherfucker. They got it parked right in the neighborhood where people can see it from the street. See that? Listen to it. I don't even think it's a lock on that motherfucker, man. You see, when shit intended for a certain area, this is what they do. They put it there. Just like this.
It's really giving they cloned Tyrone vibes.
We think $3,000 an ounce is in play over the next year or so. And the big driver for that is that we think financial demand for gold is only catching up to what is strong physical. I think over the last couple of years, it has been central bank buying that has at least done two things. It's lifted the gold price floor, and it's also damped downside price volatility.
Gold prices hit a record high over concerns with the Trump administration's tariffs. The cost of an ounce of gold topped $3,000 for the first time ever today. Gold is traditionally seen as a safe investment during times of political and economic uncertainty.
Some mortgage rates are coming down in the wake of Donald Trump's tariff turmoil. Barclays has become the first big lender to cut the rate on some fixed-term deals to just below 4%. The new rate only applies to buyers who've already paid a substantial deposit. Experts say other major lenders could follow suit, although expectations of a Bank of England interest rate cut have faded somewhat after Mr. Trump put most of his latest tariffs on hold.
Tough real estate market has led to historic trends among first-time home buyers. A national survey from the National Association of Realtors found the median age of first-time buyers climbed to a record of 38 years old. The survey was conducted from July of last year to June of this year. It also found that a record 7% of first-time buyers use their inheritance to afford a down payment.
One, I would say, what inheritance? Two, I'll say, you dudes is afraid to move out of your home and adult. But that's probably not what's going on. This is just fantasy. This is Harry Potter, Star Wars, Transformers. That's what this is.
Men are supposed to make your life easier. If he's not making your life easier, he's not the man for you. Now, maybe your life is difficult with him, but is it because he's making it difficult, or is it because you're not allowing him to make it easier? That's a poem that I wrote about myself.
Well, at least she knows what her problem is.
Y'all, this is so horrible. This man right here was just awarded $900,000 after police in Fontana, California held him in this room for 17 hours and made him falsely confess to murdering his own father when his father was alive and well at his girlfriend's home. The footage of police interrogating him is absolutely heartbreaking. This is Thomas Perez Jr. On August 7, 2018, Thomas and his father got in a small argument, nothing major, and his father left. He went outside, said he was going to walk the dog and check the mail, and he never returned. The dog returned without Thomas Sr., and that is when Thomas Jr. began to get worried, and he called to report his father missing. According to reports, Thomas Sr.'s cell phone and wallet were found at the home. Cops brought in a dog that picked up on the odor of a deceased person, and cops allegedly also found blood stains. So they brought Thomas Jr. in for questioning, and y'all, honestly, this is like something out of a movie. Like, I'm not kidding, I literally just watched a movie very similar to this. They had him in the interrogation room for about 17 hours, telling him that they had found his father's body, he was deceased. They brought his dog in there and told them that, you know, you did this, why are you lying in front of your dog?
Police have the legal right to lie to you.
Your dog had to walk through your dad's blood.
You found your dead dad, and you don't give a
murdered your dad.
No, I did. Yes, you did. No.
Yeah,
yes.
Daddy's dead because of you.
No.
Yes, not only that, but poor Morgan here.
Margot.
Sorry. Margot had to witness it.
When this dude gonna say, yo, I need a lawyer? Now they can't even talk to you. That's the importance of a lawyer.
I walked through the blood.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
They also allegedly told him that they were going to have to put his dog down. You can see him on the ground there holding his poor dog. I mean, this picture right here is when he absolutely lost it. Like, they forced him into a confession. He eventually would go on to tell police that him and his father got into an altercation and he stabbed his father with a pair of scissors. After confessing, he literally tried to himself in that interrogation room. So police found out that his father was alive. They got a phone call from his oldest daughter, and she said that he was actually staying with a girlfriend and he was on his way to meet her. But instead of telling Thomas this, they allegedly sent him off to a mental institution where he was held for like 3 days. The whole time he was in there, he believed that his father was deceased and that the police had put his dog down. This is absolutely heartbreaking. He was recently awarded the $900,000. Imagine if he would not have failed the attempt that he made in the interrogation room that day.
Well, then the parents would have gotten a wrongful death suit. But I don't know that the individual cops would have been prosecuted. It probably would have went on to the police department and actually the state, because you never know how unaliving you is going to fit into their ultimate scheme to bring out the Antichrist. And they want him here like yesterday.
What's your favorite app? TikTok.
What about you?
Definitely ABPV. ABPV.
Wait a minute.
Favorite app?
TikTok.
What about you?
Definitely ABPV. ABPV. ABPV.
What's that?
Why does it sound like HPV?
What's that?
Oh, the girls definitely know what it is.
What's that?
It is America's best pics and vids. It is an underrated app. There is no boundaries, no censorship.
See, there's no condoms. You don't even need that.
I'm on there. My memes are fire.
Fire. I'm on there. My coochie is fire. You'll get it.
And you'll probably find more than just laughs on there.
What? Hold on.
What's your favorite app?
TikTok.
What about you?
Definitely ABPV. ABPV. ABPV.
What's that?
It is America's best pics and vids. It is an underrated app. There is no boundaries, no censorship. I'm on there. My memes are fire. And you'll probably find more than just laughs on there.
You're not going to get no laughs from HPV. And I'm good. I don't want that. Thanks, though.
Ahí viene el que me gusta. Adiós, bizcocho.
¿Quién fue?
Fue ella.
¿Quién fue? ¿Fue usted?
Fue ella.
No, fue usted.
No, fue ella.
Venga por acá, mi amor.
I don't know what they said, but I know what it looked like. Ooh, you cute. Cutie, what's good? Who said that? She said it. You said that? No, I didn't say nothing. You said that? Come here with your little sexy ass. Oh, no, I really said it. Well, that's what you get, see?
Let me take you back to the beginning. This was the family that had a website. It was called Our Unique Family. It was a single man, Chaim Cohen, who adopted 9 boys, and they lived under one roof in Southwest Houston. He pleaded guilty today to 4 counts of continuous sexual abuse of a child and was given 40 years for each count, plus 15 years for indecency with a child. All of those sentences will run concurrently, so in total, it's just 40 years. Investigators learned about this after one of his sons called into a podcast and made an outcry that he and his brothers were being sexually abused. According to court records, he said CPS had been involved in the past, but that nothing ever happened. He detailed that Cohen would try to intimidate the boys from saying anything or making any outcries. The details in these charging documents are truly disturbing in this case. And again, we'll hear from his boys for the first time next Monday. His oldest adopted son, however, is also behind bars on a number of charges, including sexually abusing his siblings as well.
Jeez, can't you guys get girls? This is really what the TQ plus is in LGB. Because these people are trying to push forth the MAPs. What are the MAPs? Minor attracted adults. And if they can get legal precedence, these dudes won't go to jail for messing with their kids, which is gross. But shout out to this next clip, because why?
We have breaking news this morning from France, where an investigation has found a horrifying number of abuse cases linked to the Roman Catholic Church.
Well, the shocking inquiry found an estimated 216,000 child sex abuse victims at the hands of French clergy between 1950 and 2020. Now, the report says an estimated 3,000 abusers, 2/3 of them priests, worked in the church during that period. One Vatican insider told CBS News that the staggering number of priests means there is likely irrefutable evidence of a cover-up. The figures are based on research after the commission spent 2.5 years listening to victims through an open hotline and studying church court and police archives. It's the latest and possibly highest number of victims revealed in reports and investigations worldwide that have helped lift the veil of silence around church sex abuse. France's Catholic bishops have asked victims for forgiveness. The Vatican has yet to comment.
We need to talk about the infamous Russian pedophile and snuff film ring. So just so I'm factually correct, here's the article I'm talking about here. So in the year 2000, a massive scandal rocked Russia. In that year, Russian authorities uncovered a pedophile ring that ran all the way from Russia to the United States. There were over 5,000 members that were busted in different countries, but the exact details of these crimes are really hard to stomach, so viewer discretion is advised.
Let's focus on race and not protecting our children from monsters in Jesus clothing. That's better, right? Yeah. Let's focus on how Jana Runs in my comments is white. Don't look at the fact that she's gorgeous, she's white. So, leave her alone. What about my other girl, D-Baby? Let's forget about the fact that she's probably a great individual, would be great with kids, super to her parents. She's white. Leave her alone. What about my other guy, AJ? Forget about this bloke. He's some cool dude from overseas. Lot of knowledge. Let's just focus on the fact that he's not American. Yeah, that's better. Let's do that.
The police and authorities had to watch some of this content that was uncovered, and what they saw was absolutely disturbing. They saw hundreds of different children being abused by groups of men, and on top of that, after the abuse was over, these children were then brutally tortured and killed on camera. Now, something extremely disturbing is that these videos made over $470 million worth of revenue. Just stop and think about that for 1 second. Just stop and think about how much money that is that people were paying to watch these videos. There were people...
But let's focus on this black guy stabbing this white dude. Not this. Not this. YouTube is probably not going to show this to you. Not this. The Negro killing a white guy. That's what we're going to... Okay?
People in the U.S. purchasing these tapes. There were people in the Middle East, people in Russia, people in Italy.
There were people purchasing these tapes. That's the disgusting... Are these people? Look at this dude. He looked like he's staring at a naked little boy getting his whole buttocks chopped off. He's like, ooh, are you going to serve the buttocks? I want that piece. It looks delicious. Gross, Fester.
In fact, when they were covering this news story, 2 European TV stations accidentally broadcast images and video from the tapes. Graphic, uncensored material. Obviously, the whole team that was involved in that was fired. But the police officers and authorities who actually worked on this case have gone on the record and said every single night since then, they still hear children screaming in their dreams. So these rings operated throughout many different countries, including Italy, Russia, all throughout the Middle East. And what the authorities think they were doing was snatching children out of orphanages and even at times targeting kids when they walked away from their parents at the circus. Now, thankfully, hundreds of people were arrested after this was uncovered and justice was dealt. And thankfully, Russia's prison system is pretty brutal, so I'm sure that the men who were put in there for these crimes got the justice that they deserved. But this is absolutely frightening because this stuff is still happening today in 2024. It's not just happening in Europe, it's happening...
Wait, this was last year? Oh my goodness.
In America. There's so much more we could get into here. But yeah, we need to continue to talk about this stuff to raise awareness that this is happening.
Hey, so remember when every single elected official was screaming in your face about data security and banning TikTok? Yeah, it was never about data security. Ever. Not once. This came out yesterday.
So I want to just be clear about this. Here in this document, Facebook is talking about making Chinese user data available to the Chinese government because they're going to store that data in China. Is that correct?
Correct.
But when you store that data in China, Americans who exchange messages or other information with Chinese Facebook users, that would mean the Chinese government could get access to the American data as well. Is that correct?
Through the POP servers, potentially, yes.
And Facebook was willing to take that risk?
Yes, there was a lot of discussion about this and ultimately, yes.
I mean, this is extraordinary. This is exactly contrary to what Facebook has represented for years. Here, they're willing to build data centers, store data in China. They are willing explicitly to give the Chinese government access to it. And if that means that American user data is also compromised, they're willing to do that too. All for profits in China. There was virtually nothing they weren't willing to do.
Interesting. Is it too late to say I told you so? Banning TikTok was never about protecting your data. If that were the case, Meta would have been held accountable for this. Every other social media platform would have been held accountable. Airbnb, who's been known to sell your data to the CCP, would have been held accountable. But no, it was always about controlling the narrative because it was the one platform the US government under the Biden administration couldn't pick up the phone, scream at the CEO, and demand they censor something that made them look bad. COVID, Hunter Biden laptop story, or anything else.
Thank you to my channel members. We said thank you to my channel members. No diddy when I say member. Thank you to my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding, but seriously, join. Thank you